It marks 3 years since Juneteenth became a nationally recognized holiday. Across the nation, Americans are celebrating this holiday that commemorates the end of slavery in the United States.
In 1863, Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation that ended slavery. However, African Americans in Galveston, Texas were still enslaved, and it wasn't until June 19th of 1865 that those who were enslaved were told they were free. Our Maria Bray tells the story of former Governor Lawrence Douglas, the first black governor in U.S. history.
Nobody knows the trouble I've seen. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home.
Those are African American spirituals that were first sung centuries ago by enslaved people.
People thought it was better to die than to live.
Lawrence Douglas Wilder is 92 years old and the first black governor in U.S. history.
I, Lawrence Douglas Wilder.
Serving in Virginia from 1990 to 1994, many also knew him from a past beyond his control as a grandson of enslaved African Americans.
Well, first of all, my grandfather was living in Richmond as a slave and with his wife. However, they were sold, and she was sold to Hanover, which was about 35 miles away from Richmond. He would walk 35 miles one way, 70 miles total, every weekend to be with his wife and 3 children because he didn't have a slave pass. And in so doing, he had to receive a whipping each time he came back.
He says his grandmother learned to read and write by listening to what the slave owners' children were learning.
And my grandmother would sit there and listen and learn everything that they were teaching to those children so she could teach her children.
Wilder's grandparents' plight inspired his historical success. Wilder hopes Juneteenth is used to take a look into the past.
So yes, it's time to celebrate, but to celebrate knowing more about our history than we know today. And so it's a day to record, but it's also a day to remember, and to remember that our work is still undone.
Maria Bray, 10 on your side.